Hi folks, we have a little pass-around group going here between Paddy, UK legal carry knives on myself, and you'll have seen in my last video the 4 little knives that Paddy put in this week, which proved to be a lot more interesting than I kind of expected on first inspection. The Serge Panchenko little friction folder actually turned out to be a really nice little knife. I mean, I have no idea whether that's a budget knockoff or if it's a top end thing. I don't really care. I liked it. It was a nice little knife. Now the 2 from UK legal carry knives have also struck me as a little bit unusual, in that what I was expecting is not what I've found out. Now I'll tell you for why. These are 2 little knives, little fox knife and little Two Sons knife. Now I'm going to go through these just one at a time, and we'll start with this little Two Sons. Now this Two Sons is in N390 steel and titanium. So the good strength but not overly powerful spring, and a huge big fuller come nail neck to open it with. Good solid clunk to it, good materials, good weight in the hand, and actually, you know, this is a really nice little knife. But what doesn't surprise me is that's exactly what I was expecting. The bit that I wasn't, just let's go through the size details and so forth, just so we know what it is. We're in the UK, so this is a sub 3 inch any day of the week, no matter how you measure it. Blade, so it's legal to carry, not just in the home, but anywhere around the country. You can take this as long as you're not in a place where knives are absolutely prohibited, such as a school or certain government buildings. In terms of a size comparator, that's the UK PK and the Manly Wasp. So it's, you know, it is a UK legal carry knife. It's as simple as that. So, thoughts on it though. I was really expecting to be blown away by this knife. It's about 70 odd quid. You know, it's and for titanium, N390, it's a, you know, it's a good knife. I mean, okay, it's Two Sons, it's made in China, but I don't know. When I got it in the hand, I just didn't take to it. It's got a bit of heft to it, which is quite nice, but it's not so heavy. The fit and finish is okay, nothing to write home about, nothing special. It's a factory made knife, assembled parts. You wouldn't really expect them to be JE made quality fit and finish. A nice little lanyard ring, it's incorporated into the end of the knife. It's not slab titanium, it's got these lines on it. It's got fancy pivot covers, but it's still just a Torx wrench to open it. What's that, T8 or whatever? So it's perfect, and just a 2-screw knife. I presume there's a pin as a pivot for the back spring somewhere about where my thumb is. Can't see it from inside. It's nicely scalloped inside actually. There's quite a lot of working has gone on in there. If I can you see that just about, maybe the top, the same on both sides. So on paper that's a great knife. I just didn't really take to it. Now I think what kind of put me off it was this, and this I expected to hate. It's a stubby little knife with an overly thick blade, and it's a D10, doesn't have a spring. It's got a lot of work has gone into drilling holes in it, but I'm not usually blown away by that. It's got a sort of fancy clip with a ball in it. It's, I think, about twice the price of this as well. So overall, I was just sort of thinking, no, this just is not for me. But then when I got it in my hand, I actually thought, oh, nice little thing. It's small, non-threatening. With that finger trial there, you do lose quite a lot of blade length as a result, or cutting edge as a result, but you've still got plenty. And if you're opening things and you want a bit more length to it, you can pull your finger back from there. If you were cutting your apple, you can pull it back from there, although with it being as thick as it is, it's actually just going to explode your apple rather than slice it. This isn't overly thin, but it's thinner. In terms of size for this one, well, obviously you've got the comparison of the two sons, but let's do some conventional comparisons. Manly wasp. Let's move these up a bit. Get them all in frame. UK PK, not in frame, so that's not very good. There we go. Sort of something like right. So it's a shorter blade. I don't know what we're talking about, but about 2¼ inches, something like that. So it almost falls into my little knives category from my previous video. It's almost, in terms of blade length, it's not much bigger than my ADV. Extra ¼ inch or something like that. No, but I actually just rather took to this knife. It's got a little picture of a fox on it. That's quite nice. There's no thumb studs or anything, which I'm quite pleased with. I actually like, although I've never been a Spyderco fan, I do actually quite like the little holes in knives rather than nail nicks, because they're easier to keep clean and make sure there's nothing stuck in them. M390 steel, Magnano, Italy. I've seen a lot of nice knives come out of Italy lately, and I'm actually quite a fan. I've got another one to do yet, another fox actually, but I was quite taken with this. I was expecting to just say, yuck, how horrible it is, and then send it back to Al and say, thanks but no thanks. But actually, I really quite like this. Do I like it enough to go out and get one? Probably not. I mean, I'm probably more a traditionals guy, really. And 140, 150 quid is a lot for a knife that I just think is nice and a bit quirky. I had seriously thought about going out and buying the two sons, but actually I've decided not to. Having looked at it, I think it's a very competent knife. And if you have 70 or 80 pounds and that's your budget, and you want to buy one really good pocket knife to carry in the UK, I actually think it'd make a pretty good buy. But I have lots of nice knives to carry every day, and many that I would prefer over this. My Enzo PK70s are, to my mind, nicer in my hand. It might not be in your hand, but in my hand I find them slightly nicer. They're a bit slightly wider handled, and I quite like the blade shape on those with a bit more belly, because the one problem with sheep's foot, and I do like sheep's foot blades. A lot of my Sheffield knives are sheep's foots, and I really like them. But when you go to cut, it's with your hand in the way, it can be difficult to get flat down onto a board. If you've got a bit of belly on the knife, you can use it at different angles. So I tend to go for a knife with a bit of belly in it. But if that's your budget, I would look at that. It's a very serious contender. This one is just quirky, and I like quirky. So it's, of the two, it's the one I would rather own, but I don't want to own it enough that I'm actually going to go out and buy one. I don't think. You never know. Might be a moment of weakness, but I think it's just a bit too expensive for something that's just a bit quirky. Anyway, thank you very much for that. If you like this nonsense, then please feel free to put a thumbs up, like my video. That would be really nice of you. And if you aren't already subscribing, please feel free to do so. As I say, there'll be the giveaway coming up at 500 subs, and we're over the 400, so we're getting there. Slowly but surely, we're getting there. Okay, doke. See you all. Bye.